When I think of Rick Rude, it was his second run with the WWF as the insurance policy of Shawn Michaels and his role as the Degeneration X enforcer that I remember best. His reintroduction into the WWF pretty much coincided with discovering wrestling on Sky Sports late on a Friday night in the summer of 1997. What made his reintroduction special was remembering his character from VHS tapes of WrestleMania and SummerSlam I was able to rent at my local Blockbuster. I was unaware of the incredible body of work that brought Rick Rude to this point in my wrestling journey. Although Rick Rude was an incredibly gifted technical wrestler in the ring, it was his mic work and physique that gave him a point of difference. I was blown away by how cut this guy was. For me, Rick had the perfect body. He wasn't a brute like some of his contemporaries that were screaming into the camera. He was a natural heel dripping with charisma and a master of ring psychology, making many of his matches unmissable. Here's a quick look at the career of Ravishing Rick Rude. Trained under Eddie Sharkey in 1981, he began his career in NWA All-Star Wrestling in 1983. After doing the rounds as a jobber, he debuted his Ravishing Rick character in Memphis at the end of 1984. 84 and 85 saw Rick compete in championship wrestling from Florida with Percy Pringle as his manager. Percy Pringle would later become better known as Paul Bearer. He would capture the heavyweight title in this promotion before leaving for WCCW in '86. Here, he was in a short-lived tag team with the Dingo Warrior, later to become known as the Ultimate Warrior. Rick Rude came to the WWF in 1987 under the management of Bobby the Brain Heenan, drawing instant heat from the fans and becoming one of their top heels. During his early days in the WWF, Rick Rude honed his craft of insulting the fans and whipping the crowd up into a frenzy. He had several memorable feuds with other top WWF talent at the time, including Jake the Snake Roberts and the Ultimate Warrior. Rick Rude left the WWF due to a disagreement with owner Vince McMahon over using his likeness to promote events for which he was not receiving a cut. Spending some time working for Independence and All Japan, Rude signed with WCW in 1991 and went on to lead the Dangerous Alliance as well as defeat Sting for the U.S. heavyweight title, which he held for an incredible 14 months. Rick Rude went on to defeat the Nature Boy Ric Flair for the WCW World Heavyweight title in September of 1993 at the Fall Brawl event. Rude was now unquestionably a main event player in WCW. Just as Rude had seemingly reached the pinnacle of his career, it came to a tragic early end after landing awkwardly on the edge of a steel platform outside the ring while wrestling Sting for the WCW World Heavyweight title. This landing injured his back and neck severely, and he was unable to properly compete in the ring again. Returning to the WWF in 1997 as the insurance policy of Shawn Michaels, he went on to become a member of the Degeneration X stable. He appeared suited and booted, and carried a steel case to the ring. He watched on from the sidelines, frequently interfering in important matches and being the difference maker for the Degeneration X stable. Unfortunately, it was cut very short due to the Montreal incident. He was good friends with Bret Hart and was disgusted at the way Vince McMahon had screwed over Bret in the ring, leading him to contact Eric Bischoff and rejoin WCW. This led to Rick Rude famously appearing on WWF Raw and WCW Nitro in the same night during the height of the Monday Night Wars. Rude aligned himself with the NWO faction, managing his good friend Kurt Hennig but not really getting involved in anything of note. Rude left WCW again in 1999. Tragically, a month after leaving, he died of heart failure. He was 40 years old. Rick Rude was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2017. A gifted wrestler and athlete, who had a great understanding of ring psychology and innovative mic skills, taken far too soon. Please like and hit that subscribe button for more wrestling-related content.